Hello everyone, welcome to the second session on ZenChakras. The first video is already online and hope you liked the first session. Today we will be taking our journey a little further and now drawing the second chakra, which is the Sacral Chakra. Yeah. So I'm again using the same 6-inch tile. Yeah, it is a bigger piece of paper, good quality 300 ESM thick paper. And I'm first going to mark these 4 points just as I did yesterday and find the center of this circle. Yeah, so I have placed this tile in the center of the bigger circle and then I'm going to mark these points. So I'm using my pencil and a ruler and joining these ends to find the center of my tile. Yeah. Now I'm going to take the compass. Today we are going to take some bit of measurement because I'm going to draw a circle with 2 centimeter radius. Yeah. So I'm going to let you know why I'm doing that exercise. So just if you want to draw a bigger circle, choose 4 centimeter radius or you can choose 8 centimeter radius. Just make sure that you choose an even number. So this is the circle with 2 centimeter radius. So the diameter is 4 centimeter. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is divide this line into 4 sections. So I'm going to measure 1 centimeter now with my compass like this. Yeah. And then mark 4 points. I'm just going to rotate and mark 4 points on this line that I have. This is 1, the center is the 2, and then 3rd and the 4th. Right? So now somewhere in between here, which is 1.5, right? And taking this radius here, right? So I have placed this at 1.5 and this is the radius, right? I'm going to draw another circle. Like this, right? So this 1.5 was my center point of this circle and this AB was the radius. And first what I did was divided this diameter of the first circle into 4 sections. Yeah. So this is how I get the 2 circles. Yeah. That's the first step of the chakra, second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. Now sacral chakra has 6 petals, right? So let us see how can we ensure some sort of a symmetry when we draw our petals. So I'm first going to draw an outer circle, again starting from the center here and drawing an outer circle so that my petals are somewhat of the same width, right? Now on this Markus I have 12 points, I think. So 1, 2, starting from 6 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, right? So if I mark these 12 points on my tile, then I can combine 2 sections to create 6 petals. Yeah. So that's the mathematics I'm going to follow. So, right, so first let's divide our circle into 12 sections. So what I'm going to do is start joining these lines. 1, so this is 2, then comes the 3rd, yeah, then comes the 4th, then 5th is here, then comes the 6th, 7th here, 8th here, right? So I think we have 12 sections now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, right? So if you combine two sections, you create 6 petals. So let's do that. So I'm going to start right here. So that is 1, right? So again you have a reference. So you are combining two sections and creating 6 petals. 3, 4, 5 and the last one here 6, right? So our sacral chakra is ready. This is the crescent moon, that is a part of the chakra. So the sacral chakra is placed below the navel. Yeah. So I'm first going to take out my tile and remove this Markus. Its job is done, right? And then first pen my chakra. Yeah. The color will be orange for today. So let's first ink our chakra just as we did yesterday. I'm going to use a boulder nib and ink my chakra first. This is the sacral chakra, also called as the Swadhisthana, yeah, which is situated below the navel, the gonad gland, a symbol of water element. The color is orange, and the beach mantra, what we write in the center is Bam. Yes. So it would be nice to double line so that when we color it, the chakra looks distinct. It stands out. Yeah. So I'm going to add another aura to the outer circle also. So the petals in the first chakra also we drew 4 petals. Here we have 6 petals. The number of petals also signifies different things in different chakras. These are lotus petals. For example, in this chakra, it represents the 6 negative thoughts, emotions that one should get over. The beach mantra is the short mantra to invoke this chakra. Just as we wrote Lam here, we will be writing Bam here. So it's basically a Sanskrit term and it is a short form of the mantra, generally called as the Bij mantra or the seed mantra. So once you are grounded, you move next to the sacral chakra. Everything in the chakra drawing represents something, whether it is the circle, whether it is this crescent moon kind of a shape that is formed here, the color, the seed, mantra, everything, yeah. So I'm going to write Bam here, yeah. So if you are not too comfortable writing directly with your pen, then you can always use the pencil first. So I'm going to draw a line. That's one. Yes. So now you can ink it. Yeah. So that's our chakra. That's done. Now let us move further. So now I'm going to start inking my circles also because I want to draw my tangles in a circular fashion only. So I'm going to ink these circles. You can see here I've inserted one more circle here. I want to draw my tile in that fashion only. However, that is not a compulsion. You can draw a mix of tangles any which ways you want. Yeah, I somehow like it this way whenever I'm drawing chakras. However, I have drawn tiles in other ways also. I'll show you some example. One more tile where I've drawn it differently. So first what I'm going to do is add these double line circles, or draw the circle, add an aura. So I'm going to the next one now. Right, so this chakra is basically linked to the genitals, sometimes the bladder, the kidneys. Again, I'm going to add the auras. One more line. You saw yesterday how the auras work here. Yeah, the chakra looks absolutely distinct. So I'm adding one more. And finally, let us add an outer aura also. Yeah, so I am done with that. Going to add one more aura to the outer border also. Yes, so now we have these sections. You can make it small, you can keep it big. We already have these lines, so not much of a hassle since we divided our circle into 12 parts. So these lines come handy. Yeah, so now up to you. How do you want to go ahead? Just choose any fragment, choose any tangle of your choice and start to add. Yeah, so in one section I'm going to add diva dance, rock and roll. Right, so this is a Zentangle original. What I'm doing is adding auras and adding some bold ink portions as I draw the auras. Diva dance, rock and roll, a Zentangle original. So add auras and come back and add these hums or bold ink portions while drawing the auras. So they look like flowers when combined with these auras. Right, so I'm going to add this flower in one section. The next section probably you can go with paradox or any other tangle of your choice. Let's use paradox. So again, starting from one side and giving a slight angle to the line as you approach the end. Yes. So you can choose any tangle that you feel like drawing at this point of time. So I'm going to add a mix of paradox and Diva Dance, purely line based tangle, paradox, like this. Yeah, again I'm going to start with Diva Dance. Again go back, add those humps, add aura, come back, add the hump. That's one way of drawing it. Other way is to add this hump and go back and ink under it. So if you are new to this tangle, I have done a whole series on Diva Dance, Rock and Roll, the Tangle Diva Dance. There are 3-4 versions of this tangle. So you can always go to those videos, watch it, learn the tangle. However, I am drawing it slowly, so if you can learn the tangle watching me. Draw it carefully, yeah. So it's just about auras, one of those tangles which re-emphasizes the importance of auraing in Zentangle. Yeah. Again, going to the next, I'm going to add paradox. Take your time, rotate your tile till the time you are comfortable drawing all the 4 lines, keeping your tile static. So once the space inside reduces, you may be able to do that, but till then you have to rotate your tile. Yeah. So next again the rock and roll flower. So I'm going to slowly do this exercise and you can draw at your own pace. So I'm now on the last one, continuing in the same fashion, drawing the Tangle Diva Dance rock and roll version, which starts to look like a flower, but it's nothing but auras with some bold inking in between. So take your time, slowly do that exercise. If you want to add this tangle, you can. If you don't want, you can choose any other tangle. There's so many fragments that you can choose from, or any other tangle of your choice. Right, so we are done with one layer. The next layer, I'm just going to add betweed. So I'm going to add the zigzag up down line, and then you can either add betweed on both sides, or you can combine the tangle batumber and betweed, whichever way you like it. Yeah, so I'm just drawing this zigzag first and then the last one here. Yeah, done with that. So first one section, let us go with betweed. So I'm going to add betweed, again a Zentangle original, just a little weight as you end the line, a little bold, a little ink there, lines coming from both sides like this. Yeah, the tangle betweed. So let's do that for all. In this section I'm going to add batumber. So that's one part. In batumber we have the same design on both sides. So I'm just going to add some petal shapes like this. Yeah, and then ink the small little spaces left. You can also insert orbs there if you want. Some bit of inking is always a good idea. Yeah, so that is what I'm going to do. So let's again move on to our betweed. Line coming up, add a slight curve, add a little weight as you end the line. Like this. Yeah, so I'm going to continue like this. You take your time, choose tangles that come to you easily. If you have something else in mind, do it. But I hope you understood the chakra drawing part. Yeah, again the same. Take your time. So I'm going to continue doing that. So I'm almost finishing drawing the other side of these zigzag lines. Basically a tangle called Batumba, which has these petal shapes, flowers on both sides, but we have added betweed on one side and these flowers on the other. Just a small tangulation there. So take your time, slowly do that exercise. Don't haste up, draw at your own pace. So the Swadhisthana or the Sacral Chakra is basically for joy, for well-being, sexual well-being. So we are almost done with our tangling. Yeah. So let's now get to coloring. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a crescent moon. So I'm not going to color that section. Yeah. I'm going to keep it white. So that's why I'm adding one more aura inside, representing the moon. And the rest of the sections we can go ahead and ink or color, right, with orange. So this moon remains as it is. Yeah. So let's get started. So as I mentioned yesterday also, I'll be using acrylic colors, and these are a little flowy because they are fluid colors used for pouring. Yeah, acrylic pour. It is used for acrylic pour. So I'm going to start with orange on the outside. So first we'll add this color and then we'll see if we want to add something tangle over it, then we can do that later. Yeah. First let us add the orange color. I'm using a very fine brush here. I'm not very good with brush, so I generally use a fine tip so that I have more control, as I mentioned in the first session also. So try not getting inside these pipes. So go slow, take your time. Little bit of color spilling here and there. You can use your jelly roll. So make sure your color is not too thick. It blends well. Yeah, take your time. So I'm going to do this at my own pace. Yeah. So I'm still adding color. Moving on to the petals now. Take your time, slowly. Add this nice orange color. So I'm done with adding my orange, and this crescent moon part I feel like adding some gold. Yeah, so I think it will highlight the moon. So I'm just going to add some acrylic gold there. So you can either color it orange only, or you can add any other color. Orange is the color of the chakra, so even if you do light and dark shades of orange, that's fine. So that's about gold. Now if we want to revisit these black lines, we can do that after painting. So let us first leave it like this, let the paint dry, yeah, and then we will add some shades there. So let us first move on to shading the outside, yeah. So what I'm going to do is probably add some graphite on one side of this flower, highlight the other half, something like this. And for paradox, the intersections is the best way to shade, right? So as far as this is concerned, I'm going to add on one side like this. You can shade any ways you want. This will give a nice high and low 3D kind of an effect. So I'm just going ahead and adding graphite on one side of my diva dance, right? And then as far as the paradox is concerned, these intersections 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So just going to touch those places with my graphite, not adding too much. Yeah, so let us blend this much first. So I'm just going to take away the graphite from the edges. Make sure the edges are dark enough so that you get that high and low effect. Take your time. Don't cover the entire thing with grey. White should be visible, even for paradox. Slowly, take your time. Yeah, done with that. Moving on to the next. So what I'm going to do is probably add around this orb as far as the flowers is concerned. I think it will look nice. And for betweed, you have a choice. You can either add at these two ends, or you can add in the center, or you can add at both the places. So that's entirely your choice. How do you want to go about shading it? Yeah. So I'm going to add at the center and around this orb. Yeah, and then on the betweed. Let us now blend. Slowly, take your time. Soften the graphite without blending it too much. Right? So we are done with shading it. Now let us finish our chakra. So what I am doing here is, after I have painted, I am redoing the black lines. So I have redone the lines. Now, so I am using my red brush pen instead of the grey now, because I think red can give a better shadow effect on orange. It was not showing on my red chakra, but it is definitely looking nice on the orange. So as I mentioned earlier also, this exercise you can do with your acrylic paint itself. You can use a darker shade, again adding a shadow there, a little bit of 3D kind of an effect. Yeah. So now comes embellishment. Now you can either leave the tile like this, or if you want you can add some bit of embellishment. So I have my jelly roll 10, I have my jelly roll 8 also here. So I'm just going to add some dots on the outside using the tip of my jelly roll to add some fine dots on this section of the chakra. This is not a part of the chakra. The chakra ends with these petal shapes. Yeah. So I have added that texture here. Yes, and last but not the least, there is a very fine space left here where I don't think I can manage adding color with my pen. I'm sorry, the brush. So I'm just going ahead and using my brush pen and adding a touch of orange there. That's about it. And we are done. Just adding some more so that it kind of matches with the rest of my tile. That's about it. Yeah, so that's our sacral chakra. And I will see you again with the next. Thank you for all your comments, suggestions. I really look forward to them. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.